Beneath the grandeur of Rome's majestic empire, a chilling secret lay buried, etched into fragile lead, whispered in shadows. This was Rome's darkest secret, the ancient curse tablets, objects that reveal a side of Roman life seldom chronicled in history books. A hidden world of fervent desires and vengeful prayers, entrusted not to the gods of the pantheon, but to the shadowy deities of the underworld. Today, on Echoes of Time, we delve into this sinister realm, unearthing the secrets these fragile artifacts were never meant to reveal. Known as Defixiones, these weren't mere superstitions, nor simple gestures of ill will. They were powerful, magical artifacts, meticulously crafted, their creation a deliberate act designed to influence fate itself. From the bustling gladiatorial arenas where fortunes were won and lost on the swing of a blade, to the intricate web of legal disputes that defined Roman justice, and even in the most intimate corners of thwarted romantic advances, Romans from every social stratum sought this dark power. They invoked the fearsome deities of the underworld, compelling them, or so they believed, to inflict misfortune, illness, or even death upon their rivals. This practice, pervasive and profound, offers an unsettling glimpse into the darker side of Roman daily life and belief systems, a hidden current beneath the veneer of a seemingly rational society. For centuries, these tablets lay entombed, their malevolent intentions preserved, silent witnesses to a forgotten era. It took the patient hand of archaeology to bring them back into the light. Across the vast expanse of the Roman world, thousands of these enigmatic objects have been uncovered, each one a whisper from the past. Sites like Bath in Britannia, famous for its sacred springs, yielded a treasure trove of these curses, as did the thermal springs of Dacia, hinting at the integral role natural, often mysterious, locations played in their deployment. These discoveries did more than just expand our understanding of ancient Roman material culture. They revealed a profound, widespread engagement with magic, baffling scholars who had long grappled with the true extent of such practices within Roman society. The sheer volume of these finds suggests that magic was not a fringe belief, but a pervasive undercurrent woven into the fabric of daily existence, challenging our traditional perceptions of Roman rationality. The act of creating a defexio was far from casual. It involved specific materials, usually thin sheets of lead, chosen perhaps for their malleability and durability, ensuring the curse endured. The words themselves were etched or scratched into the metal, often in a hurried, almost frenetic hand, sometimes reversed or written in a cryptic script, further enhancing their mystical aura. The tablets would then be rolled, folded, or pierced, and typically deposited in places believed to be conduits to the underworld, graves, wells, springs, or even within the walls of rival homes. Each tablet represented a personal, often desperate plea for supernatural intervention, a direct appeal to forces beyond human control. Imagine the intense emotions that drove a Roman citizen to such lengths. The burning injustice, the bitter jealousy, the fear of losing face or fortune, all condensed and channeled into a single, etched command meant to alter destiny. The very existence of these Defixiones forces us to reconsider the complex interplay between religion, magic, and social dynamics in ancient Rome. What drove ordinary people, from merchants to senators, from gladiators to lovers, to seek such dark remedies? Was it a genuine belief in the power of black magic, a desperate attempt to influence an unpredictable world through supernatural means? Or were these curses more akin to psychological weapons, designed to instill fear and control within a society already stratified and often brutally competitive? The answers, as scholars today grapple with the true efficacy and societal impact of Defixiones, are far from simple, revealing instead a nuanced tapestry of human belief and behavior. One prevailing theory posits that these curse tablets provided a high-stakes outlet for the powerless. In a rigid social hierarchy, where legal recourse was often costly, slow, and tilted in favor of the elite, a curse tablet could have been a last resort for justice, or at least a powerful expression of profound grievance. For those without political influence, without wealth to bribe, or without the social standing to command respect, a defixio offered a sense of agency, a means to strike back against perceived wrongs when all other avenues were closed. Imagine the frustration of a wronged artisan, or a spurned lover, or a contestant in a charioteer race who felt cheated. The curse tablet provided a clandestine yet deeply personal weapon, an avenue for their rage and despair, transforming their powerlessness into a whispered, potent threat against their tormentors. This perspective suggests that magic, in its darkest forms, could have functioned as a kind of underground justice system, offering solace and perceived retribution to those marginalized by the mainstream. Another perspective suggests that the widespread use of Defixiones indicates a profound integration of magic into mainstream Roman religion. Rather than being separate and distinct, the lines between piety and dark arts may have been far blurrier than we often assume. The invocation of underworld deities, though distinct from the public worship of Olympian gods, was still an appeal to supernatural forces recognized within the Roman cosmological framework. This implies that magic was not necessarily a subversive counterculture, but rather an accepted, albeit shadowy, component of a broader religious landscape. Romans, in this view, likely saw a continuum of divine power, with different deities responding to different kinds of appeals, some for blessings, others for vengeance. The very fact that priests and temple functionaries might have been involved in the creation or deposition of some curses further supports the idea that these practices were not entirely divorced from official religious structures, but rather intertwined within a more complex spiritual worldview that embraced both light and shadow, piety and dark arts as aspects of the divine. A third, compelling perspective posits that many defixiones were simply theatrical gestures, their true power lying not in any supernatural intervention, but in the belief of the target. If a rival or opponent learned they had been cursed, the psychological impact could be devastating. Fear, superstition, and anxiety could lead to self-fulfilling prophecies of misfortune or illness. The mere suggestion of a curse, the knowledge that someone desired your downfall so vehemently they would appeal to the underworld, could undermine confidence, sow discord, and disrupt daily life. This created a complex web of fear and perception that profoundly shaped ancient interactions. In this scenario, the curse tablet functions less as a direct magical conduit and more as a sophisticated form of psychological warfare, a silent threat that exploited the deeply ingrained superstitions of Roman society. The magic, then, resides not in the ethereal plane, but in the human mind, in the potent power of belief and suggestion. As we piece together the fragments of these ancient curses, etched onto fragile lead, we uncover not just spells of vengeance, but a nuanced portrait of Roman society's fears, frustrations, and desperate hopes. These tablets, recovered from the earth after millennia, are more than archaeological curiosities. They are direct testimonies from individuals whose voices were otherwise silenced by time. They speak of the anxieties of everyday life, the cutthroat competition of business, the emotional turmoil of relationships, and the deep-seated desire for justice in an often unjust world. They remind us that even in a highly organized and seemingly rational empire, the human heart remained susceptible to the allure of the supernatural, to the promise of control over an unpredictable existence. The enduring mystery surrounding Defixiones, their true efficacy, their precise integration into Roman religion, and their psychological impact continues to captivate scholars. Were these genuine attempts at black magic, whispered invocations to forgotten gods? Or were they sophisticated tools of psychological manipulation designed to strike fear into the hearts of rivals? Perhaps they were a combination of both, blurring the lines between the tangible and the ethereal, the rational and the superstitious. What is undeniable is that these artifacts offer an unparalleled window into the raw, unvarnished emotions of ordinary Romans, providing a rare glimpse into a side of their lives that history books often overlook. Through these forgotten pages of history, through the secrets that lie under the dust of centuries, Echoes of Time strives to tell stories that might otherwise never have made it into the annals of recorded history. The cursed tablets are a potent echo of humanity's enduring quest for agency, justice, and revenge, a mirror reflecting the darker impulses that have always resided within the human heart, regardless of civilization or era. They remind us that the past is never truly settled, that new discoveries continually force us to reevaluate our understanding of even the most well-known civilizations. As we conclude our journey into Rome's darkest secret, we are left to ponder. What does it tell us about ourselves, that even today, in our seemingly modern world, the echoes of such ancient fears and desires still resonate so powerfully? What does the pervasive belief in curses reveal about the enduring human struggle against perceived powerlessness, a struggle that transcends the ages and finds expression in myriad forms, whether etched on lead or whispered in the digital shadows of our own time?